As all 10 teams have now launched their cars for the year, it's time for me to hop on the bandwagon of rating all the 10 liveries. I'm sure many will disagree with what I have to say, but know that beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and there isn't really a right answer overall for this. I will be using a 5-tier rating system, and the tiers from highest to lowest rating are all-time great, fantastic, decent, alright, and my favourite wording pair in recent times, perennial backmarker, which I guess is another way of saying trash. Starting from alphabetical order, and Alfa Romeo have played the Uno reverse kart for the livery in 2021, and I've got to say that the car looks absolutely stunning. The white on top of the red of the C41 looks immense, and just like in traditional Italian fashion, Alfa Romeo have really put this off. Although the car will likely be towards the back of the grid again, they will at least look beautiful in doing so. I have given this an all-time great rating. AlphaTauri's AT02 has added more dark navy to the livery for 2021 compared to its 2020 counterpart, and I have got to say that they have done a very neat job here overall, as white and navy seem to mesh very well as a combination. I don't necessarily think it's a brilliant livery, but they have still done a solid job with it. With that said, I will grade it as decent. Alpine have launched their maiden car under a new name, and can I say that it is an absolute stunner. Being a French team, they have gone with the colour scheme of the French flag with a big A towards the back of the car. Now, I'm not French, but I got to say that the dominating bright blue colour on the A521 is very visually appealing, and the sort of French flag sash towards the back of the car to differentiate the blue and red is also a massive winner in my books. I got to say, this for me is an all-time great livery. Aston Martin's first car for over 60 years also looks to be a gem of a car. The British green is well and truly back, and a British F1 enthusiast would be awing of amazement at the sight of the car. The tiny hint of red works really well too, and with the car not being bombarded with sponsorship means that we can appreciate that British green just a little more. I'm not going to say that it's an all-time great, but for me, it's definitely fantastic, and Aston Martin can be really proud of themselves for the livery scheme they've chosen for the AMR21. Ferrari's turn, and it's no surprise that they have stuck with the same traditional livery, but there have been some distinctions from previous years. The SF21 has gone old school with its numbering on the car, which is a throwback to the 50s and 60s, but I kind of like it. Furthermore, I see what they're trying to do with the bit of green on the car to represent the Italian flag, but the green will only drag further attention for the sponsor it's advertising for in Michelin, which will have its intended effect of drawing attention to their company and promoting their main company in Philip Morris International, which is a company which creates cigarettes, e-cigarettes, and basically any smoking related item in between, but Ferrari have been doing this forever. Overall, I can only grade it as decent for the bit of shameless advertising. Us now, and hasn't Nikita Mazepin's dollars had such a big influence on the team, and obviously its livery as well. The VF21 looks like a Russian invasion, and it would have Russian civilians celebrating big time if we were still in the Cold War era. But for real, I actually don't like the livery. The design just looks a bit bland to me and has very little trendy design on it whatsoever. Quite frankly, it looks like something that belongs in the old A1 Grand Prix series rather than Formula 1. Overall, I think this livery is just bad, thus it's a perennial backmarker. McLaren have basically gone for a replica livery scheme to its 2020 car with a few more sponsors signed up, which is always great to have. I am a fan of the orange and blue combination going on, just like the 2020 car, which I thought was decent. And I will be giving the 2021 car the same verdict as they look to push the MCL35M into the front running pack. Champions Mercedes, just like McLaren, have more so stuck to the 2020 livery of black with a slightly stronger hint of red and silver this time around, with a lot of AMG branding towards the back of the car, which I think is a bit over the top and does ruin the livery just a little bit. However, this only makes the car look like it doesn't belong in the absolute top tier, but it still looks very solid. The W12 definitely still looks very good, so I will grade it as decent. Red Bull again, like Mercedes and McLaren, have kept just about the same paint job with very minor differences to the past year. For me at least, the most obvious difference from this livery from last year's is the removal of the Aston Martin logo for logical reasons. I'll be honest, the livery is okay with the predominant grey-blue on show, but it's not much better. The RB16B livery is just alright, nothing more. Last but not least, and Williams have majorly changed how the livery looks, and it is certainly for the better. There's a little bit of a throwback feel to this car, considering they have put a tiny bit of gold on the car, just like their cars did during the dominance in the late 80s and early 90s. The patterned dark blue and light blue catches the eye well. A big improvement on the livery against last year means that my verdict for the FW43 is graded as fantastic. So here is the final look at the 5-tier rating system, with all cars given a grade. We already know that the worst livery belongs to Haas, as the livery was the only one in the perennial backmarker tier. But out of the all-time great tier liveries in Alfa Romeo and Alpine, if I had to choose the 2021 livery champion, I'd have to slide with Alfa Romeo. The car is an absolute beauty to look at, and for me, this piece of machinery is just such a thing of joy to look at. But we all have different standards and looks for which we consider to be beautiful. So let me know what your favorite liveries are in the comments section, subscribe to the channel for more content, and leave a like if you enjoyed the video.